get right into it. So when it comes to Liu Kang's nunchuck stance, you have an overhead, right? Think about the overhead. It is really unsafe. You're gonna get Dan Henderson right hook to the fucking dome. Just know that. Every time you throw the overhead, it is a risk. But people do tend to block low a lot of the time, so there's that. So that is something to take into consideration. Another thing is you have a low that you are actually somewhat safe. Not every character can punish this. It is really difficult to punish this. Like, it's fucking tight to punish this. There's so much pushback, and it's really difficult to actually punish. So there's that. Another thing is you can cancel, get your grab game going, and you know, land the infamous Liu Kang forward 4. There's that. And then another thing is that you got a command grab. You can enhance it, and then you can pick which way you want to ragdoll your opponent. So now, there's 2 strings that I really want to talk about in this video, which is this one and this one. Thing about these strings is that you could really fuck with your opponent, but at the same time, there's a lot of ways around this. So this is a do and don't and know what you're getting yourself into guide, really, on the nunchuck stance. So this right here, right? Let's say I land this, right? And then I go into the nunchuck stance. They can actually block that. Like, if they press any button, of course they're going to get hit. But if they get a hit by this, they can actually block all of this right here. So think about, the bad thing is they can block it. But the good thing is they have to guess where am I going to hit them. Whether a low, or whether it's an overhead, or whether I'm going to do a command grab, or whether I'm going to cancel out of it. So, you know, they have to guess which way you're going to do it. But, you know, not only that, but you can actually get poked out. Like, let's say my opponent blocks this, and then I go into my nunchuck stance, you can get poked out. Anytime. But another really nice thing about the nunchuck stance is immediately you can go into your stance. Like, as soon as you hit the move, look how fast that is. Like, Jesus Christ, did anyone react to that super fast? That right there, how fast it was, you could actually get poked out of that. Doesn't matter if you go for your overhead or for your low, you can get poked out of that. If your opponent blocks the first hit, you can get poked out. So that's something to take into consideration, but that's not always going to be the case. So here's the mix-up, the real mix-up of the nunchuck stance. It's not the overhead, it's not the low, it's not the cancel. The real mix-up is that right there. So if your opponent knows that they could cancel out of you can get poked out of the nunchuck stance, they can't poke out of that string right there. They just can't. They cannot. So the real mix-up is, am I going to do it immediately? Am I going to let this string rock? Hold on. And then do it? You're never going to want to do this right here. You're never going to want to do that. It's the same thing as doing this right here. There's a gap. So take that into consideration. So you have options. Do it right away. Do it after, or let the string rock right here. So you're kind of baiting your opponent to try to poke, but at the same time, they're going to give you your respect for the simple fact that they're going to have to guess which way you're going to do it. Are you going to do an overhead? The overhead always throws people off. Like, when they see this string come out, you're blocking low because you're just getting ready for it. People are just like getting ready to block a low fireball, even though you don't have it in this variation, or the parry. So the overhead is always really good to throw, but it is unsafe. You can get Dan Henderson to the damn dome, so there's that. But you could also be completely safe and go low. So another thing is, this string is the exact same thing, but the beauty about this string is you can go, of course, immediately right away. you could let it rock and then do that. But the beauty of it is that if, you know, they think you're gonna do the stance and you don't, you're gonna pop them up and get some really good damage off of this right here. So that's how you get it. Another thing is that, of course, you can do this and get your stagger grab game going. It's all there. But just know that you can fuck with the timing of when it comes out. But there is ways around it. This string is really good because it's like a complete mix-up now. It's like you can go into a damn low. It is not a true combo. This is not a true combo, but this is a true combo if it lands. So at the same time, if they block it, if they block this, you can get poked out. But where they can't poke you out is from this right here. They actually can't poke you out of that, and then they have to, of course, guess. Let me actually show you. Oh, hold on. It's the 2 hits. Hold on. What the hell is going on? What the hell is that? Okay. What is going on? There you go. The block stun for this is pretty good. And you can't poke out. You just can't. So this is really nice. I'm going to try to jump backwards. I'm going to get clipped. So this right here is really good. So it can't be the all 3 hits. It just has to be the first 2. So just know that. So that's that. Also for this right here, this could also be a really good mix-up. You can do this. You could go into an overhead. Right there. That's also really good to do, and it's a true combo. But of course, if they block the first hit, you can get poked out. So, is the nunchuck stance good? Yes and no. For the simple fact that you can get poked out of it a lot, but at the same time, it becomes a complete guessing game of whether you're going to throw the overhead, throw the low, or cancel out of it, or when is the overhead coming out? When is the low coming out? So you have options. At the same time, there's so many options to get out of the options that you have, if that makes any sense. And then that's for these strings, of course. For this is really nice right here. It's like, boom, an actual 50-50 in Mortal Kombat 11. That's actually really nice. And then, of course, going to the low, and just like, this string just became more dangerous right here. You know, you could do a 50-50, of course, get your damage going. So that just makes everything different for Liu Kang. He has different pressure compared to his other variation with the low fireball and the parry. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I hope you guys learned. I hope you guys enjoyed. Holla you, holla back. Check you guys later. Deuces.